Don't let this thief steal the joy in your journey any longer. I'm going to be sharing today with you what that thief is. It's actually one of a behavior that you might have, and what you can do instead so you can gain more joy along your journey, okay? And this is relevant whether that's in business, whether that's building your business on social media or in the offline space, whether that's in your personal life with your relationships. It's very, very powerful to stop this thief from stealing your joy. Okay, so hello and welcome. I'm excited you're here. In case you haven't met before, my name is Katrin from bloomwithkatrin.com, and I'm coming live to you from the beautiful Bavarian forest over here in Germany. Now, please don't be shy, whether you're tuning me live or later on the replay. Please say hi, let me know you're here and where you're tuning in from, so I can circle back around and have a little conversation with you. Looking forward to do that. And I love empowering networkers like yourself to build an active dream team here in the online space, leveraging modern day online strategies and doing so with self-confidence, savvy, and so on. Here's the thing. We can learn all the latest and greatest strategies, but as long as we are our own worst enemies up here with what we do, with what's going on inside of us, none of these strategies really matter, okay? So if you've ever found yourself in a situation where you're like, well, I've learned so much and I am kind of like putting into practice, but something's holding me back, this isn't really an enjoyable process, you find yourself not really putting into practice what you've learned, this is an important thing to take into consideration, okay? So I'd be curious to see what your ideas are, okay? So if you have an inkling, an idea of what that thief might be that's stealing your joy along your journey, drop it down below. I'd be curious to see. I can't see comments at this point, but hopefully I'm going to see them later on. Then I love coming back to them, okay? So here it is. You ready? The thief that might be stealing a huge part of your joy on the journey is comparison. Okay, comparing yourself to others. And here's the trouble with losing the joy on your journey when you let comparison take it away from you is, you know, when you don't enjoy something anymore, when you don't feel joy in your relationship, when you don't feel joy in your family, when you don't feel joy in your business, when you don't feel joy in building your business on social media, it will be a very, very, very tough journey for you to actually achieve what it is that you've set out to achieve, okay? And so many of us struggle and end up quitting at the end of the day because the joy in the journey has gone, okay? So that's not what we want to have happen. So let's catch us, or rather, let's catch that thief inside of us, okay? Before it can wreak havoc and steal the joy, okay? So comparison. Here's what I wanted to share with you. So my granny, I actually grew up with her. She used to always tell me, Katrin, when you compare yourself to others, you belong to the devil. Okay? Here's what she meant. There will always be someone that's more advanced, more experienced, more successful, more fill in the blank than you are. And there will always also be people who are less advanced, less experienced, less successful than you. And whether you compare upwards, okay, or whether you compare to those who are maybe less advanced than you, it'll not do you good. It just won't, okay? Because the one thing is going to be a feeling of vanity and, oh, I'm so very good, right? And then you stop evolving and growing as a person, because you settle for being better than somebody else, which I would strongly recommend you never, ever do. Never, ever settle. Never, ever stop growing and evolving, right? And the other, when you compare to yourself to somebody, who's more advanced, who's maybe in the business longer than you will feel, I guess we all know that feeling, right? Drop me a heart down below if you can relate to feeling like not as good as fill in the blank person, okay? And especially on social media, we often tend to actually compare, and I know this from myself, right? I tend to compare the perfect life so many people portray on social media to my behind the scenes reality. Drop me a heart if you can relate to doing that as well, right? And here's the thing, when you compare your behind the scenes with somebody's shiny surface, on social media, for example, you'll never feel good enough, right? And that will take away the joy in your journey. It just will. Okay, so stop it. Stop that thief from stealing that joy. Okay, when you compare, where you're at in your business to where somebody else is at in their business, you just really remember that you only will see the tip of the iceberg of that person's journey. Okay, we don't see all the effort, all the tears, all the sweat it took them to be where they are. Okay, we have no idea about their story usually, but it may look so simple for them. It's easy for you, right? It's easy for you to do live videos, Katrin. Well, it isn't, right? It still really isn't. I mean, it's getting better and better, absolutely, but I actually postponed my first live video for over 12 months because I was so scared. Okay, so many self-doubts, so much comparison as well to other people who were going live already. So if that's where you're at, drop live down below, because I'm right now recording a live video course for you. I'm doing it in German in a live training. And for you, I'm putting together a course. So once it's done, I can get that over to you, okay? And let you know once it's done. So that is really, it's so important to remember that you are where you are, and you are exactly at the right spot right now, where you are, okay? With all your uniqueness, all your story, that's perfect where you are right now. It might not feel perfect, okay? Which is where the evolving part comes in, but you are exactly the right way, and you are exactly at the right spot in time, okay? And when you compare yourself in this rightful place, so to speak, with somebody else's rightful place, you'll just not feel joy in your journey anymore. Okay, so stop that, please, right? And here's the thing. There is one other emotion, or one emotion really, that often comes into play when we compare ourselves, like our, say, day 3 with somebody else's day 3000 in the business, maybe. We can become envious, okay? And let me know whether you've ever been envious. Drop me a heart down below if you have, because I will put both my hands up. Okay, I have been envious of people, not in a bad way, not in like I love it when somebody else is successful. I truly do. But I have seen it so often where people are envious in a negative way. Like, I feel that she or he doesn't deserve the success that they have, right? If that's where you're at, please, please, please stop it. It's not going to help you. It's definitely going to take away all the joy you have. Okay. It's a feeling of scarcity. Okay. Your heart goes whoom. How about we do the difference? Okay. And we really celebrate each other's wins. Okay. Heartfelt, sincerely. Okay. Let's congratulate each other on the good things that are happening in our lives. In the wins that we have, might they be as small as they may, right? And see them and celebrate them also when they happen to somebody else, because that's going to increase our vibration, our energy. It'll open up our heart, and we can feel abundance, okay, versus scarcity. Now, I don't want her to be that successful. Make sense? Drop me a 1 down below if it does, okay? So congratulate other people on their wins, heartfelt, wholeheartedly, and learn from them. Not compare yourself in a way of, I can never do what they're doing, but take a look at, well, what is it that they're doing? And what about that might I do and might I take and do for myself as well? Makes sense? So congratulate and learn from people who are more successful than you are, okay? And learn from them. And then look inside of you, because truly, I mean, yes, you might need a training here or there, or a little help along the way, but truly you have everything you can ever need inside of you to live a happy life, a joyful life, a successful life, okay? So look inside of you and find inside of you what you're longing to be, what you're longing to achieve, okay? And bring that forth and do that. And here's the thing about envy. I really wanted to put that on out, and I forgot. So let me retract just a little bit here. I think envy is a trigger for pain that we have inside of us. And that pain comes from knowing our full potential, but not living it at this point. Okay, drop me a yes if you can relate to that. I'd be curious to see. Okay, so envy is not a bad emotion. I mean, it doesn't feel good, right? It gives us scarcity, but it usually is a trigger for pain inside of us because we're not living our full potential. And that is the thing that we need to change. Okay, and that is where I say, okay, congratulate and learn the other person you're a little bit envious of, and you maybe have been comparing yourself to, and then look inside of you. Find that potential inside of you. Bring it forth, okay? Compare with one person, if you want to, every single day and all day long if you want to. There is one person I would strongly recommend you compare yourself, if you have to compare yourself with anybody, and that is you and who you were and where you were yesterday, okay? That's the only person I compare myself to, and it actually increases my joy rather than taking it away, because I can see my transformation, if you wish. Okay, I can see my development. I can see how I'm evolving every single day, a little bit. It might not be huge every single day. Okay, when it comes to my partner and how we talk to each other. Okay, yesterday we had a fight. Okay, how might I do it differently today? With my son, same thing. With in my business in general, same thing. What was not really working well yesterday? How might I change that? Okay, and that creates the room and the space for possibility rather than for comparison. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Drop me sense down below if it does make sense for you. And last but not least, start choosing to be kind to yourself. Okay? Choose to be kind to yourself. Ask yourself, okay, I know inside of me there's this potential. I know I can be this person. But maybe I'm struggling. Okay, and that's okay. But what do I need to take that next step? What do I need to become that better version of myself that I know I have inside of me? I know I have the potential, but what do I need to achieve it? Okay? Evaluate, of course, rather than devaluate. Very, very important as well, right? So what are 3 things about what you're doing that work? What are 2 things that don't? And what's 1 thing you might do differently? And if you're, pardon me, if you're maybe looking at becoming better at when it comes to finding team members in the online space, well, maybe you will have to do things differently than you have been maybe doing so far, right? If you've been chasing people and trying to drag people along and motivate them and like carry them like monkeys on your back, okay, maybe it's time for a different strategy, for a different approach. And if you want to, I've got an amazing blueprint for you. It's less than 2 cinema tickets that will teach you a better way, or a way to become better at recruiting online, actually attracting your right kind of perfect person who will come to you, want to know more about what it is that you do. That's super, super powerful. So if you resonate with that, I'm going to put the link to that blueprint inside the comments so you can go check it out on your own. Okay, if you've got questions, I'm here for you. And as always, I want to thank you for watching and joining me. I hope this was valuable. If it was, please drop your 3 main takeaways down below right here, right now, because then I'm going to take your name and put it on a sheet of paper and put it back there on my green wall, right? And you can see that there's quite a few names there already. And all of these names at the end of the month, I'm going to take them down, put them in my little hat, and I'm going to draw out 1 lucky winner for a free coaching session with myself. We can talk about anything and everything that you want. I would strongly recommend we talk about maybe your social media profile, maybe your social media strategy, or your business strategy in general and where you're at, and what might be the next relevant step for you to actually achieve that goal that you have. Okay, so I hope again this was valuable. I'm looking forward to seeing what your 3 takeaways were, the most important ones, and I can't wait for you to put this into practice, to start stopping yourself comparing yourself to anybody else rather than yourself in your version of yesterday, and seeing and applauding yourself for where you've come and for where you're going. Okay, and again, if you need a little bit of help when it comes to recruiting online, check out the blueprint link down below. So thanks so much for joining me. Have an amazing day, and I can't wait to see you on the next training. Time for you to bloom online.